MR2. That didn't go well either. Oh, I'm getting old. Look at my sweet skills. I'm not old. 20 valve for JG. 20 valve. ITBs. Oh, lots of rice. Yes. Okay, people. I bought an MR2 first gen. Why? I have no idea, but it's basically the same reason we had BMX bikes as a kid. To terrorize the town and be hooligans. That's literally why I bought this car. There's no other good reason. Other than the snobs inflated everything. Casey, stop talking about snobs. Okay, I will. It's like a Lancia Strato, so you can afford. Except it fizzes like an Alka-Seltzer tablet in the rain, which is basically the same as like every Italian car from back then. Well, we can totally fix that. And check this out. It's got such ballsy wheels, they can't even hold within the body. That's great. And the car only has a little bit of herpes, so I am ready to be a complete hooligan this year. I have no intended purpose with this car other than to drive sideways and, generally make people question my sanity and career decisions in life. And I think you're gonna enjoy that. So we gotta fix it up. Ooh, the car needs to have less body herpes. And it needs like race seats and like a straight exhaust, cause straight pipe, bra. And right now it's got headers with like a cat on it, and that's it. And that's that. So I have found that the Toyota community is totally awesome. But then everybody just tells you it needs to have a different motor than it does. And this one has the 4AGE 20 valve silver top, which is pretty cool. It's got individual throttle bodies. But it sucks because it's got a mass airflow sensor on it and like a plenum over the ITBs. So then you need to run like a blacktop ECU and change it over and like wire it and get rid of that, which I totally might do. And that'll be cool because ITBs are even more hooligan. And the other problem is the wheels stick out, which is not actually that cool. It looks kind of stupid. But it marginally looks less stupid than how narrow those things were before. So we're not going back to stock. It needs fender flares. And I gotta put the rockers back on. And I totally gotta paint it because it kind of looks like crap right now. Even though it's a hooligan car, I'm kind of a fancy pants. Yeah. So I'm thinking Panda, which apparently is not racist. That's what they actually call them when you paint them black and white. Oh, by the way, the gloves are mechanics gloves, and that's what I wear bicycling because I used to bicycle in the 90s, and I'm not cool, and I'm still not cool, and that's why I'm wearing them. So we need to look at the car, and more importantly, snap oversteer. Yes. I want some of that. Okay, come look at this car. So I bought it for 2,500 bucks, okay? I think the body has like, I don't know, 100,000 miles on it. But it's got the 20 valve in it, which is sweet, and I don't have to find it, so I like that. But come here and take a look real close. I just want to show you guys. You know, the wheels are kind of cool. I clean them up. I don't mind them sticking out because I'm gonna do fender flares. Obviously, there's rot. The first gen MR2s rot like crazy throughout here. And it's totally got a hole right here, which is a drag. And the trouble for anybody young out there that's wanting to get into mechanicking and stuff and building it, body stuff is difficult. I'm gonna have to weld and bond, and it's dirty and it takes forever. So if you can find a clean one, get it. But if you can't, you know, try to do a good job. It's a good place to learn. It's a really neat car, but they're super crazy thin, okay, which makes it light, and I kind of dig that, but they also just rot it all away. I'm gonna leave these wheels, I'm gonna clean them up, maybe refinish them. These tires are a little too narrow, they should be a little wider for it. I'm not like into those stretchy stance. What's that flush garbage people yelling at me for? What is it called?
Hella flush?
Oh, hella flush, yeah, that, I don't know what that means. I'm too old. Okay, so it's got to have fender flares, so come here and look at it. It's got the stock seats, which are kind of like this cool 80s corduroy malarkey, which actually I remember because my dad had a Prelude in the 80s. But those need to go because they need to be red racing seats because that's obnoxious and hooligan. Now this is apparently how you turn the fuel pump on because that's totally normal, and I'm gonna leave that. And there's some parts that might go to something. I don't know, they could be useful. And the door totally shuts. It does have the lower rockers, which is nice. The sort of bodywork, which should go on. That'll be nice. I'll have to put that on. In terms of the fender flares, I do have some bolt-on ones, but they look terrible and don't fit worth a darn. So I don't think I'm going to use those. I think I'm probably going to get some steel and weld on my own fender flares. There's also some nice fiberglass ones I saw, but I think they're in England. They might be a pain to get. But otherwise, it's pretty nice. This one's got T-tops. I initially preferred getting a, I gotta remember how to open these things. I initially preferred getting a sunroof car, but I was having a hard time finding it because the people that were selling MR2s really should get a lesson in selling cars. I'll just leave it at that because I want to be nice. I had a hard time finding a decent car and actually making a deal with somebody. I wasn't trying to beat them up. I was just trying to buy a car. Just send me a couple pictures and I'll buy your car, man. Anyway, so I didn't really want T-tops, but I went and saw it, and it's cool driving with them out, and it still looks good. So, you know, I'm not really against it. I don't really care if it leaks a little bit because I'm a filthy person anyway. And so that's that. It's also got this old Sparco wheel on it, which I could probably brush, and that's kind of cool, you know, why not? It's got the super Radwood old cassette tape deck, which I could leave or take out. But I'm looking forward to doing it. Dashboard does not crack like old Porsches and stuff. I think it looks generally pretty darn decent. The brakes are super squishy and marginally there. And that's why we should totally go find out what snap oversteer is today. You know, so there's most of an interior here. That's good. Let's like look at the rest of it. I'm gonna open stuff up. Okay, let's go up to the front. I know you guys want to see the engine. That's why I'm not gonna show it to you first. All right, where is it? Where is it? Open, open. Okay, so that's kind of a heavy hood, actually. I wonder if they sell lighter weight ones. Oh yeah, we need a lighter weight one. Hey, there's a tiny tire in it. We don't need that. That's coming out. Okay, so you know, there's like wires and hoses and stuff in there, and there's a big hole, and that's cool. And I don't know. Maybe it'd be kind of cool to get a lighter weight hood if there's a fiberglass one, cut a big hole in it so the radiator air can go out the top like a real race car. I'd be kind of into that. It wouldn't be that hard to do. So that totally got rid of some weight. Oh, that sounded terrible. Why'd you do that? Okay, so engine. Haha. Yes, look at that. That's totally why I bought this. Now, I can tell you that it's in there and it runs and stuff generally works, but there's also like wires that don't go anywhere. And I put some rubber bungee cords to hold the battery mostly in place, and I feel like a lot of you can totally relate to that, and so can I, because I just did that. But there's some like new hoses on here, and it's got tubular headers, which is cool. And here's the ITBs. And now what I was saying is, here's the mass airflow sensor. With it, this ECU for the silver top needs this to know how much air goes into it. But what is sweet about individual throttle bodies, you can put cool velocity stacks on each one, and they have that really cool sound, which is super hooligan, and I like. So I may switch it over to the other ECU, and so I can get rid of this and then run it off of like vacuum pressure to sense what the load is and what's going on, and have ITBs that look really good. Obviously clean this up, maybe relocate the battery to the trunk, little weight there. You know, it doesn't make tons of power, so it's not like the Viper where you can just throw it sideways at any given time with power. You kind of have to throw it around and stick it there and just generally huck it around. But because of that, it can understeer, and also these wheels are ridiculous. I don't know how they're set up. I don't know how the suspension's set up. It was reasonably stiff, so I feel like there's some different springs of some sort on it. But of course, we're gonna have to go through this and do some basic maintenance and general race car stuff, fitting it up and cleaning it up. The other thing I thought would be kind of cool is to get rid of this hood, since it's basically entirely flat with the exception of this indent and these louvers. And I thought it'd be pretty neat, I don't know what you guys will think, to make one out of clear polycarbonate, which is basically Lexan, and then paint part of it so it's clear in this area and have some louvers to let the heat out, and then you can see the glory of the silver top when I make it look prettier, and it has ITBs and it'll be lighter weight. So all those things are good. Here's a blue wing. I also have a black wing, and I kind of like the way it is. I don't want to be a total freak with this car. There's the ECU, because this is how they mount them from the factory. Oh yeah, look at that. That's nice. I have a feeling it bolts there, but it's not. It's just right like that, because that's normal. But you know, I'll clean this up, get the rust out of there, plug some holes, and generally make it work, and take off things that I don't think need to be there. And I don't know, I might like put some carpet in it so I could put something in there, but I'm gonna be a hooligan in it, which means I've got no baggage. Yes, and that's kind of that. So we should totally go drive this. So here's what I'm thinking. I am going to put my BMX bike out on the parking lot area to use as like a pylon to drift around. This is my great idea. I've not done this. So I'm gonna go blasting down in second gear, like 8 grand, lay on the brakes, huck it to the right to get it to load up, and then see if I can get it to twitch and throw it to a drift and do a 360 around my BMX bike and take off into glorious Japanese. I don't have an adjective or a noun. But I think it's gonna be cool, or I'm gonna wreck and it's gonna be terrible. Snap oversteer, here I come. Okay. That's as good as a cone. I'm totally not gonna hit that. Here I go! Yes! Okay, my wife just got here. She hasn't seen this car or anything what I'm gonna do with this. So give me the camera and we're gonna go pick up my wife because this is gonna be even more hilarious. Yes, let's go. Use the shifter with nothing in it. hit no brakes, and I'm gonna do donuts. You wanna ride with me?
Sure.
Yes, yes. Why are you doing this?
Because I love you.
Aw, do you wanna record?
Sure.
I still like driving stuff. Okay. We'll give the camera to the camera guy, who's in mortal danger.
Can I put on my seatbelt first?
What?
I think I put on my seatbelt first.
Yeah, so apparently this car is allegedly now a Pikachu character. Not a Pikachu, a Pokemon character. I'm old. Yeah, sounds good, doesn't it? Give him the camera. Let's try this. Okay, but more importantly, play it off. Play it off. That was sweet, wasn't it? Yes. Okay, so being serious for a second, yeah, that's not gonna happen well. I got no snap oversteer at low speeds. Yeah, I realize that the tires stick out too far. It pushes like a dump truck and it needs a limited slip differential. If it had a limited slip differential, I could have done donuts. I was trying to upset the car, but it's too mushy to make it do anything like that. And I may have to take my wife out to dinner and do something really nice because she is questioning all of her life choices right now as well. But I am not questioning my choices with this MR2. It's sweet. Yes? It's totally sweet. It's totally sweet. Yeah. All right. So you guys should share this and like it and comment with how sweet this is, and you know, like, subscribe because I'm gonna do more and make it a panda. See ya.